what's your connection to Coon Road? Was it your dad that raced there?
My dad raced there, and then my uncles and cousins. Well, my uncle owned a car. My dad raced it for him.
Okay, what was your dad's name?
Jim.
Jim?
Jim Howser. And then my cousin Ted, he raced over there too. And yeah, it was kind of, well, like 1 and 2 was up by the road. And then 3 and 4 was down at the other end. And they used to let the kids, you could go in there before they started at 2 o'clock. And I was 10 years old, and I was in my dad's race car racing around the hot laps out there.
Wow.
And my one cousin, he was coming around there, and he was going to pass me, and my dad says, go out there and give it hell, you know. So I come out there, and he went to get around me, and I took him and got through the turns, and I beat him. I was like 10 or 11 years old, something like that, but it was real
So you were
fun.
driving?
Yeah, just in the hot laps, and then later on in, I think, 69 or something like that, I started racing.
So that was the beginning?
Yeah. An old, big old 53 Buick or 47 or whatever, I don't remember what it was, and had a big hood on it, and we put a blanket on there, and we'd sit on the hood like that and just lean back against the windshield. And there was me and my mother, and my sister was just born, so she was a baby. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden the cars are coming around 1 and 2. They come in there, and the guy lost the wheel and hit the car right next to us and smashed that car, you know, busted the windshield out, bent the hood up, and it just missed us by 1 car, you know. So we thought that wasn't a good idea to sit out there anymore. We got out of there, yeah, and moved over into the grandstands, you know. So
You mentioned grandstand. There was a grandstand?
oh yeah, on one end of there coming up, well, where the flagman was, they had the grandstands there.
So that would have been obviously between 4 and 1. You know, as you're coming off
Right,
turn 4, coming
right,
up.
right.
And was there a concession stand? Do you remember getting hot dogs?
Yes, they had really good hot dogs. I can remember that when I was a kid. They had really good hot dogs there. Not Coon Road, but the one track over across from the Lawrence Park Drive. And they were clearing, drying out the track in the beginning. And there was this guy. I was sitting up in the stands, and my dad was in the pits. And the guy was going around on a tractor drying the track out. Well, it was just bouncing like crazy, and I kept watching him, and the tractor come around, and he fell off of it right there, right in front of me. And when he went, the wheel turned on the tractor, and the tractor come around, the front wheel ran over him, and then the tractor come, he tried to get out of the way, and the tractor come right around the back wheel, ran over him, and died. You know, they took him to the hospital and died there. Then we went to State Line when our wives, later on in the years, our wives were going to run the powder puff.
Ah.
So we went to Coon Road, and because we lived right up around the corner from there, we went to Coon Road, and the girls got some practice around there. Dick Bardall's wife and my wife, and they got do some hot laps and get a little bit of learning how before they went to State Line and race. So the old Coon Road, I mean, it wasn't open.
Yeah.
But it was still down there, so we just went out there and hot rodded around the track. Well, just my uncle used to live down there on Cemetery Road, and he would tow his car to the track just with a chain. Well, a lot of times he'd just drive it. And we're coming down there, I guess, come down there, and the cop was sitting down there. He seen he was like behind us, so he had to stop and hook a chain up so he didn't get a ticket going in there. But that's all, you know, they were close by, so they didn't have trailers or nothing there. They just towed it or tow barred them, you know. Yeah. And but the close ones, they just tow barred or drive it up there.
Which uncle was that?
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah. He owned the car. He didn't race, but he owned the car. My dad drove it some time when my dad didn't have a car, and then Ted drove it too and his number was 97. He says, the wreck of the old 97. That's why he did that. My dad was number 8, and Ted was number 3. And my dad put, my cousin had big 3 on there, and so my dad painted it. My cousin had a gas station down in Westfield, the Atlantic station. So he had a guy write the numbers on there that did my cousin Ted's, and he put big 8 on that.
No kidding.
Yeah, I got a picture of my dad. he won the last 50 lap championship race over there at Sherman track. It was down in a gully. You stood around the top and watched him in a gravel pit. And he come in there the few weeks they did it, and he said you had to hit it just right. And he would come up and make that cut like he was inside of a bowl, and he'd come around 1 and 2 like that, and then come down off that straightaway. He was just flying, and he lapped everybody but one car in that race. And then the other guys tried it, and they went up. One went up over the bank by the pits, and one they had to tow him off of there. But he said you had to hit it just right, you know. He said we lived on what he made 1 year when he was running about 4 nights a week.
And that's really saying something.
Yeah,